What's going on, Dub Nation? I am your host of Warriors Today by Chat Sports, Allie Barefoot, and I want to discuss two big topics with you guys on today's show. One's a quick little update on Draymond Green as he is expected to make his return and play for the Warriors against the Grizzlies, but the second half of the video is going to be more about Andrew Wiggins because, look, I've been reading your comments. I know you guys have been saying, trade Andrew Wiggins. However, there may not be a good trade out there for him, as a lot of franchises aren't really interested in the former NBA All-Star anymore. But that's going to be a little bit later in the video. So first, I got to break down the report from Shams, saying after missing 16 games, Warriors star Draymond Green is expected to return versus the Grizzlies in Memphis on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which of course is later tonight, but we knew Draymond Green was going to start ramping up since January 6th, but ultimately it did take about a week and a half for that to happen. I'm not necessarily worried about what Draymond Green's going to do against the Grizzlies. That's fine. I'm more interested to see what the future of Draymond Green will look like with the Golden State Warriors. But first, I need you guys to do me a favor. Hit that sub button because any breaking news, any trade rumors, or anything and everything, Dub Nation, you're going to get right here. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button because I do not want you guys to miss a single thing about your favorite basketball team. Because look, a lot has happened the past month, especially with Draymond Green. December 12th is when he got ejected from the Suns-Warriors game after punching, slapping, whatever, Nurkic in the face. He got indefinitely suspended, which turned into like a 27, 28-day suspension on December 13th. January 6th, Adam Silver said, look, I think you meet the criteria. You can now return to the Warriors facility. And January 15th is when reports show he should be playing once again for the Golden State Warriors. And look, regardless of how you feel about Draymond Green, I know I have my opinions. He's a great defensive player. And the Warriors have gone 8-8 without Draymond Green. Their defensive rating has not been good in those 8 losses. I do think if we can get Draymond Green, the championship level Green back, this can definitely help the Warriors moving forward. But time will only tell if Draymond Green has actually changed. So what role do you want to see Draymond Green have in his return? Do you want to see him back in the starting lineup? Do you want to see him kind of coming off the bench? Or do you just want to see the Draymond Green that Warriors fans have known and loved over the past several years and help him make the Warriors win? Nonetheless, go ahead and comment that down below while I do introduce Andrew Wiggins. And now we're going to be discussing some new reports that do show a trade could be in the works for Wiggins and an Eastern Conference NBA team. However, there are definitely some loopholes to get around it because there are more reports out there saying Andrew Wiggins might be cooked. Well, the first one does come from Marc Stein, basically breaking it down and saying, Wiggins, I was told by a GM, there's not a value for Wiggins right now. Although you could package him and Kuminga together or Moses Moody or somebody like Chris Paul to make a trade happen, but the Warriors desperately need to make a trade, which of course Warriors fans know that. That's a pretty obvious statement coming from Marc Stein, but the more important part here is that Andrew Wiggins may not have any more value, which is bananas considering he's in his first year of a $109 million 4-year contract. What happened to Andrew Wiggins? I'm not sure, but let's go on ahead and take a look at the past 2 ball games he's had for the Golden State Warriors. Of course, he actually did start against the Chicago Bulls 2 games ago, and Jonathan Kuminga sat on the bench, which was a pretty interesting move, in my opinion. But he did have 17 points, and you know what? That's great. I'm happy for Wiggins, but the Bulls aren't the best team in the NBA right now, so I would expect you to drop 17 points. Of course, 8 assists, shooting 61.5% from the field is fantastic. 20% going 1 for 5 from the three-point line is garbage. And then the next game, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 23%, 33%. That's the Andrew Wiggins that the Warriors have gotten primarily this season. Because do I have to point out that 17 points against the Bulls was the most points he's had in over a month? It's just getting ridiculous at this point. But who can Wiggins even be traded for? Because while I know Warriors fans want to get rid of Wiggins, why would any other NBA team want to pick him up? And I think the most important factor here is that there have been a lot of reports that Pascal Siakam and the Golden State Warriors of the Toronto Raptors could be making a trade, but Adrian Wojnarowski did break down that Siakam may be a little too expensive, especially if you do not include Andrew Wiggins. Look, Siakam is going to have a lot of voice about where he's going to get traded to because he's going to be a free agent this summer. So if you're trading for Siakam, you have to be ready to max him out. You've got to know he wants to be there and have to have a package out there that makes sense for Toronto. Well, if you want somebody like Siakam, that's about $37 million. And if Andrew Wiggins, who's $24 million, Toronto's not really going to want Wiggins. So Siakam may be too expensive. So what can the Warriors trade with Andrew Wiggins' $24 million? Well, you're going to have to include a package deal, but nonetheless, before I break down a possible trade that could actually work, name a player you want the Warriors to trade Wiggins for. Don't worry about the money right now. I'll take care of that part. I just want to hear y'all's opinions on who you want to see on the Golden State Warriors and where do you want to see Andrew Wiggins go to. While you guys are doing that, I do want to tell you guys about a sponsor here on Warriors Today, a very great sponsor that's going to help make your life 10 times easier. That is Factor Meals. It's a ready-to-eat, fresh, never frozen meal delivery service that can be delivered right to your front door and heated up in less than 2 minutes so that you can just enjoy your food. You don't have to worry about the mess. You don't have to worry about the prep. And you can get started on the right foot. It's only 15 days into 2024, guys. You can go ahead and get started with a dietitian-approved, healthy lifestyle meal that's actually chef-crafted. There's over 35 different options to choose from. And whether you're looking to get a little bit bigger this year with Protein Plus or whether you're looking to lose some weight with some calorie-deficient meals, Factor Meals has it all. And this, like I said, is not frozen. These are fantastic dietitian healthy meals, especially around this time. It's 15 degrees here in Texas. I don't want to go outside and go to the grocery store. It's the fact that I have Factor Meals delivered right to my front door, and I know I have a fresh gourmet meal right there for me. Makes my life 10 times easier. If you guys want to get started, all you have to do is go to factormeals.com/dubchat50. Make sure you use promo code DubChat50. That's going to let our buddies over at Factor Meals know that you guys are sent by us. So just go ahead and use factormeals.com/DubChat50. Use promo code DubChat50 for 50% off. Here's some reports I've been seeing that have been pretty interesting considering the Indiana Pacers are 4th in the Eastern Conference right now, but Andrew Wiggins to the Indiana Pacers? The Pacers have recently looked into possibly getting Andrew Wiggins with a few other extra Golden State Warriors players. But overall, could this trade even work? Because the Pacers are pretty good contenders right now in a very dominant Eastern Conference, whereas the Warriors are 12th in the Western Conference. Why would they want to do this, especially when there's other teams that have been shown to have some sort of interest in a Golden State Warriors trade? So destination odds right now for Andrew Wiggins do have the Atlanta Hawks plus 200 in first. Toronto Raptors, I assume, with Pascal Siakam is going to be around the third. Chicago Bulls, they want to trade with anybody right now. Then you've got the Cavs, who have a few players like Jared Allen, who could be a nice destination for the Warriors. And the Dallas Mavericks at plus 600. I believe the Mavericks are only interested because of a possible defensive asset in Draymond Green. So why not the Pacers? Well, like I said, 4th in the Eastern Conference, Tyrese Halliburton is having an all-star season. Why would they want somebody like Andrew Wiggins? Well, they do have a few players that are about to head into free agency this summer as well. And like I said, and Marc Stein said, to get Wiggins, you have to give up other Golden State Warriors players. And I think that's a little unfortunate for Wiggins in the fact that you're a former all-star and people don't want you unless you have another name attached. Well, that name could be Moses Moody. And I made this trade because I'm not ready to give up Jonathan Kuminga. But if the Golden State Warriors and Indianapolis trade did happen, it would be the Warriors would get Buddy Hield, who is going to be a free agent this summer. And Buddy Hield could be the third Splash Brother. He is lethal from around the perimeter, and I think he would fit seamlessly into the Golden State Warriors offense. Same thing with TJ McConnell. I think you're getting a great point guard and something that could possibly be stepping up for a nice little Steph Curry injury that's been happening recently, as Brandin Podziemski did get the start the other night. The Pacers would, of course, get Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, or Jonathan Kuminga. Unfortunately, either players would work in this trade, and then a 2026 first-round pick just to really seal that deal with the Pacers and say, hey, look, we really want to make this trade. I say we do this trade, but what do you guys say? Would you accept a trade between the Golden State Warriors and the Indiana Pacers? Type A for accept, type D for decline. Like I said, I'm here for it. I think the Warriors just need some kind of help. And if you're going to get a shooting guard and a point guard, that's great. It's still not a big center, but Right now, I think small ball may be the way to go for the rest of the season with Steve Kerr. I don't see him changing anytime soon. Because here's the thing, 95.7 the game did have a nice little quote here saying, Andrew Wiggins is starting to approach Ben Simmons territory. I don't care who you are. If you're attached to a Ben Simmons territory, that's tough. Ben Simmons has not had a good run in the NBA for the past few years. And if you're starting to lean towards that, it's not going to be good for you, Wiggins. It's not that bad yet, however, but you might have to attach something to get off of him. And unfortunately for the Golden State Warriors, it's going to be a player that's actually helping the Warriors right now, which is really tough. Jonathan Kuminga is only $6.2 million. Moses Moody is only $3.9. You attach that onto Wiggins, $24 million a year, you got yourself a trade package. So my next question is one that I don't really want to have to ask you guys, but if the Warriors did attach one of these players into a blockbuster trade, a trade package deal, which player would you rather have attached to an Andrew Wiggins trade? Go ahead and type MM for Moses Moody. That'd be my pick. Or type JK for Jonathan Kuminga. Go ahead and put that down below. Any player to put along with Wiggins just to help the Warriors revamp their season. And like I said, if anything happens here, I am going to break the news. I want you guys to be completely in the know with the Golden State Warriors. So all you have to do, it's completely free information. Just hit that sub button for me.